Yo, okay. What's going on, y'all? Um, I am coming to y'all today with my deck list for Hyde that I just took to the or took online to the Mexico GP. I got fourth place, which is really unfortunate because I was one match off of my invite, and it was a really close match. And I say that as I'm saying I got fourth place, but in my top eight. Um, I'm gonna be real. This deck is probably gonna be unplayable once the not probably, it is unplayable once the set list drops, which means that this deck list won't matter once the new set drops, and ban lists will probably affect that even more. But if y'all want to at least know what it looks like now, I have literally brought that to show you. I'll probably throw like the what's it called force to win picture at the end or in the comments just to make it easier, but I figured it was also cool to like kind of see the card by card in person, or at least see it like physically. And I'll try to do my best about glare, but yes. So starting with my ruler set, we ran Hyde with the fire and X Black Cat. Basically you always want your contract to resolve, so this is really nice. However, I think most games, because there was a lot of aggro at this GP, like it was like my losses were like to Vega or other aggro. I kind of wish that this had been Light Moon, but I still, like, part of me thinks that this was correct, and I think a lot of my issues also came from sideboard, which I'll show off later. Once it comes to the ninja package, it's about half the deck. Half the deck is actually like in archetype engine. So we play Rusty, just the one of Rusty, 2 Kunai Throw, we played 2 Spy Mission, 4 Contracts, then 4 Iga, 4 Rusty's Fox, 4 Glowing Spider. People are asking why I don't play like Ninjutsu Meditation or what's the other card? I think Whistle Summoning. I think those cards are like kind of like very much just angelic battle barrier bait, which I think is like a really important card to be able to play around. Like a lot of the time, if you play Ninjutsu Meditation and they ABB in response before you get the will, then like you draw a card, but then you can't do anything with the will you produce, and it kind of shuts down your turn. So I wanted to basically like play around it's like silent spells as much as possible by making each of my plays more efficient. I think maybe Whistle Summoning with a what's it called, like a good 3-drop resonator could come up, like something for a bit more aggro, because a lot of my aggro being like Glowing Spider, Rusty's Fox, or Hyde is like not the best. And you'll see I don't play any like MSRI. It's literally just like the babies have to be aggro, so it's not the best. I think it probably like having a little bit more of a aggressive like win con could be nice, but ultimately like this deck was made to like kind of flux the grind game if you need to. So you can like play grindy, you can play kind of fast. It's meant to be like a little bit more versatile than just like contract, aggro. So for out of engine or out of archetype, Horn of Sacred Beast, Memory of Worlds, then Fair Spell, triple Killua, which is really good. I wanted my cancels basically up, and then triple AVB, that's like the non-resonator out of archetype stuff. Then for resonators, Raymond, I had double Lorite, double Black Witch, double Lumia, double Charlotte. Lumia is basically for the Never End, for Aristella matchups, because you just remove the Never End, and then they lose it. Charlotte I think is really good because of the God's Arts, but it didn't come up as much as I wanted it to, but it did come up like once or twice. But I don't know if those were like game. Ooh, voice crack. I don't think those were game winning. Basically. Horn, I don't use playing Horn, but this is really good. I definitely had a game where I shuffled back in my top 8. I shuffled back like my entire deck from my grave as I was playing against what was my top 8 matchup? Aristella. I shuffled back basically my entire deck, and I ended up winning like in time on last turn because of it. And I just like shuffled back my entire deck, draw it all with Glowing Spider. Was really good. And then yeah, cancels. Honestly, the fairs could probably be more Memory of Worlds because of the Magic Stone of Brains running them out. Might just be better. especially because like in that same Aristella matchup, I wasn't able to fair spell the contract. I could memory words, but I couldn't fair spell, which is kind of big. But I mean, I won that match, so it worked out. And that's 41 for the main, which I think is fine. I consider my 41st card Raymond, because it's kind of like that's the one card you don't want to put into your EX area, but it's a Saki like defensive card basically, right? So I think Raymond 41st card is fine. Then for Magic Stones, double Darkness Moon Frag, double Wanderer Moon, then double Gusting Skies, because I actually didn't have and couldn't find 2 more Wandering Moon. So these should just be 4 Sea Stones. Always make these 4 Sea Stones if you can do it. And then 4 Moonshade, just 10 stones. And I basically always want to represent green because I'm never representing green with filter. So I always want to have green available. And I think, yeah, outside of like wanting the 2 filter stones instead of Gusting Skies, I think that the stone deck is pretty much where it should be. And then for side is literally like where I think I might have lost games because of side. But it's Wind Moon Child, which is mostly for Killua, which my Killua was in my top 4 match, and we only had best of 1, so it didn't even matter. Apollon, which Apollon is so that way you don't lose to Alice, and it just gets rid of the Linosfaria, which I actually run one of as well for Falchion. And because you can pay for 2 of these off of Iga if you put this in your EX area, since it's black, white, blue. Didn't come up, but in theory Linosfaria is like busted going into like an addition matchup, or even to like Aristella, which I didn't draw it against Aristella games 2 and 3, but even against Aristella, like you get rid of the Eternal Barrier and the ability on Excalibur, and just, you know, keep swinging. Then for Hyde's matchup, I have triple Don't Cheat, which I played 1 Hyde Mirror and we drew, so this card didn't really come up. Then this was for Ainz, basically was triple Decay of the Machine. It was theorized about if this should be Lightning Cave. It wasn't Lightning Cave because I couldn't find Lightning Caves in time, but basically the idea is you can X Black Cat God Art for Decay of the Machines, and then put the Dragon of Solari and the what's it called? I think it's the Bird of Solari that gives them flying. You can send those to the grave, so that way you just basically slow down the entire deck. You could run 4, so that way you always like have better chance of hitting it off of Black Cat God Art, but actually the side deck's kind of tight to make room for another. But that was like the theory there, because then it also replaces itself in draws, so it's like maybe a little bit better than Lightning Cave, but I think Lightning Cave, of course, was better against the like Vega matchups, which were my losses. Then for the Charlotte, 7th Boon, Intimidation, and Alice Fantastic Trick. All 3 of these came up. Intimidation came up when I misplayed, and I played it instead of playing a Kunai throw to dodge a Garion, like by putting Kunai in my EX zone. So it came up in a bad way. I mean, this is a free pop, so I don't run Dispelling Stone instead. And then this actually came up twice. Once to remove the tokens against Vega, and then I think twice actually came up to remove the tokens against Vega instead of like canceling God Arts. But also it's really, in theory, it's crazy against God Arts too. And then I just play the, what's it called package? The Fallen Witch package. So second Fallen Witch. I don't play the full train because there's not room for it. Pointy Hat and then Pumpkin Witch rounded out the side, which it was definitely how I cleared out games, which is why I don't think that I needed like MSRI, because you just give everything flying and swiftness, and then Glowing Spider attack. But I see everything just attacks over and gradually pokes for game. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty quick and easy. Like I said, I'll try to throw up a like paste of the deck at the end. I do very much think that this deck is unplayable going into this next set, and 2 reasons why. As I'm gonna pull them out from my pre-release cards from the sets. is because of two cards that are like very anti-Hyde, as I'm sure everybody's seen by now, with the full set release. Curse of Magog, or not Magog, yeah, Curse of Magog and Roamer of the Crimson Moon. Both of these cards basically are very anti-Hyde. I mean, 1 black discard, and then your opponent burns 4 for each card they draw for the turn. So you just do that in response to like the Hyde enter. Then they either put down nothing and draw nothing off Hyde enter, or put down everything like burn like 12, 16. Same with like Glowing Spider, you do in response to Glowing Spider enter. And then yeah, I mean, Curse of Magog, I draw cards instead of you. Like, these cards are crazy. Definitely pick these up. That's gonna be like my one thing. They're normals, so they shouldn't be that bad. So you just get a playset of them. It might not come up all the time, but it's better to have like it in case of, depending on meta calls, it'll be better to have them than to not have them. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what you think of my deck profile. Like I said, I don't think it's the best. I mean, I think I could have piloted it better, but I was able to at least pilot it to top 4. All things considered, really great players. Thank you to everybody who was a part of that event. Although I hate you all for stopping me from getting my invite to Worlds. So know that it is very much a love-hate relationship with all of you guys who played in this recent GP. However, God bless you nonetheless. And I will see you in a new video that will maybe never drop. Peace. Alrighty, yeah, so here's the quick PDF version of the deck profile, just it's a little bit easier to see. And to go over things again real quick, the reason I didn't want to run Whistle Summoning or Ninjutsu Meditation is just because I don't like 2-card combos. I think they're a little gimmicky and like not the best, not the easiest thing to get off. You can argue Glowing Spider is a 2-card combo, but I would also argue that if you don't have cards in your EX area to draw, then you are probably not playing the deck right. But the same argument also goes for like Sword of Progression, why I don't run that. 2-card combos, I don't like those. And yeah, shout out to David for helping me test running my 1 mock for my top 8 match against Aristella, which is the match that I won in Top Cut. So I'm gonna say that mattered. So thank you. And yeah, again, shout out to everybody else who was involved with the GP. Great time. I was very tired. It was early in the morning when I was recording this deck profile, as you can probably tell by the bird chirping in the background. Anyways, God bless you all. Love y'all. Peace.